What up? What up? What up? It's Rec League Podcast, man. It's episode 135. Welcome. My name is Randy Little. I guess I'm your host. I just do all the heavy lifting, uploading, editing, making sure all the suits and shit look cool, paying for everything. Uh Something like the Tony Stark of this thing, like he said in Age of Ultron. But wrong franchise. Um, Let me see. This is me, E-Sig, Nick, and I mean, if you read any captions or anything, like y'all know the return. My dog, old man Lawrence, is in this, and we touch upon the Planet of the Apes franchise, but this is your first heads up. This is predominantly a Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes spoiler heavy discussion. If you have not seen the brand new Planet of the Apes, go watch it. Go watch it multiple times. It's that good. Come back, check us out. Because if you check out this episode of the podcast first, we're going to ruin the movie for you. Period. So again, what I like to do, I encourage y'all, rate each episode, rate the show. 1 star, 5 stars. It is all love. But like, that's the thing. Like, I think I said within the last 2 or 3 episodes too, if we was like the worst rated podcast ever, I would still drop new episodes. It's for the love of the game. Like, I'm not trying to get rich. I'm not trying to get famous off talking movies. Like, I love talking movies. So this is your proof. I would talk movies for free on a world stage, hypothetically. I'm not saying like the world is going to discover this channel or nothing. Hypothetically, on a world stage, I would talk movies for free. And over the last couple weeks, the movies that have come out, The Fall Guy came out the weekend of May the 3rd. So did Unfrosted, the Jerry Seinfeld directed Pop-Tarts movie that's on Netflix. And then obviously this current weekend, whatever, May the 10th, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Upcoming, there's so much potential. The weekend of May the 17th, you got the John Krasinski directed If. I don't know if we're calling it If. I don't know if it's an acronym for Imaginary Friends, but I'm excited. Then you got the reboot of the Strangers franchise, The Strangers Chapter 1, which, gosh, I wish I knew already if that was coming to my theater or not. And then Babes comes out, directed by Pamela Adlon, starring Ileana Glazer. The one trailer I saw looks hilarious. And then the weekend of the next episode, we got Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, one of my most anticipated movies of the year. And we got the Garfield movie to see if Chris Pratt can go back-to-back years voicing animated icons. I'm sure Netflix is dropping a Memorial Day weekend release, but I don't know what it is. On physical media, the Tuesday after the last episode was April the 30th. We got Andor, Steelbook 4K, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Steelbook 4K, Moon Knight, Steelbook, Blu-ray 4K, I'm tripping. Blu-ray 4K Steelbooks, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Blu-ray 4K Steelbooks, all those Disney Plus shows that they put on physical. I see an Ocean's Trilogy 4K, Madam Web came out. Apparently, Shout Factory put out The Getaway with Alec Baldwin and Kim Basinger, but I don't know anybody that bought that shit. Let me see. Madam Web, Lawman Bass Reeves, Ordinary Angels. The Mean Girls musical remake came out this past Tuesday, which I believe was May the 7th. The Crow got a 4K. Again, I think Shout Factory put out Fletch and Fletch Lives. Night Falls on Manhattan. Monk Season 6 came out. That's the only thing I added to my collection last week. This upcoming Tuesday, Dune Part 2. Does anything else matter? Dracula 2000. I see a Gravity re-release. Imaginary. I was wondering, like, I'm not going to buy it. I haven't seen it. But I was just wondering, like, when's that Imaginary movie come out? There you have it. This Tuesday, the 14th of May. The Tuesday before the next episode, May 21st. Is it MVD or is it MWD? We're finally getting a Narc. An Arrow. The boutique label Arrow is putting Narc out on Blu-ray and 4K. So I shall be copying that. I see a Shutter Island re-release. I see a Beverly Hills Cop re-release. We're already getting re-releases for The Lost City. Like, bro, why? That looks like it. That's a light Tuesday. Yeah, I'm only gonna buy Narc for that Tuesday. But I'll be back. Squad shall be with me, and we will be talking spoilers. Second heads up for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. It's Rec League. Back at it. Somewhat of a full panel. Rocket's not here, but we got a longtime friend of the pod. A Rec League OG, honestly, because Jake was in a lot of them early episodes. But it's been what, maybe a year and a half, 2 years?
It takes a lot to get me back. You know it's going to be some nerd shit if I'm going to come back.
The Apes did it. Nicholas, Eric, congratulations. Your Mavericks up 2-1 on the Top Seed Thunder. I saw that shoulder shimmy. So, no, I saw it. Don't take it back. It's been a light news week, so like, what do we think of the David Cornsweat Superman suit? James Gunn said that they were like doing like a magazine spread or something, and there was some Green Lanternness in the background. It's fine. I want to see it in action. It does kind of resemble the Snyder suit a little too closely, but like I said, I want to see it on the screen.
It just looks like Superman like getting ready to go. Like it's like, oh my god, what is it's like? It looks like he's sitting there getting ready to go to work. Like I don't know what more. Like I don't know.
The Hope signal was on the moon, and he just suited up.
Yeah, like I can. It was like green and like yellow. People like that. Like it's suited on. I'd be like, you're right. It doesn't. Like it looks like a Superman suit.
Blue, red, yellow, big S. It's Superman.
It's
red underwear.
Yeah, I think the panties are back, right?
Yeah, I think everybody's been commenting on the red underwear. But I like how he's just casually just like getting suited up while there's like a disaster going on in the background. What is that? Who knows? But Superman's like, all right, time to go to work.
He glanced out the window. Guy Gardner's got it.
The guy giving Hancock energy. Like he just like didn't give a shit. He's just
but like the red draws are cool, but like I want the yellow logo on the back of the cape again.
Maybe it's there.
Right, we didn't see any. He's not even standing up in the picture, so we really don't see how the suit. I guess what's the word? Fills out for him.
Fills out, you pervert.
Because he got into there. He's in good shape, but we'll see if that matters.
Yeah, he got jacked. He's not that swollen in Pearl.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. Like I said, like until like, yeah, I see a trailer and it looks like dog shit. Then I might be like, okay, nah, this looks bad. But like,
they'll give us a Comic-Con teaser, or if they'll like save it for like Super Bowl.
Something. I mean, it's next year, isn't it?
Next July, yeah.
Give us something. Fuck.
Did they completely scrap the big Warner Brothers like Comic Con thing? They've been doing it in like 2 or 3 years, right?
Sounds like something they would do. Scrap something that people excited for what they're putting out.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Right before we hit record, Nick, you brought up the Lord of the Rings spinoff. Basically a cash grab. Andy Serkis is coming back and starring as Gollum. Peter Jackson's involved. We'll all see it, but it's pointless.
Necessary for me to drink my own urine.
Terrible, and I like the taste.
I'm honestly surprised they haven't done it. I mean, I guess they did the Hobbits seem like longer ago than they were. We're talking like that was like 10 years Hobbits, but like I'm surprised they haven't like mined it for like other like what other bullshit can we pull out of Lord of the Rings?
Animated movies coming out this year, isn't it?
Allegedly. I've seen nothing about it, and it's supposed to be like
it's got that Wonka weekend release date.
Yeah. Well, but who gives a shit? Is it like tied to the movies?
It's animated, I don't know.
They have like kids. I'll go see that. I'm more like, let's see how that.
Until we get a trailer, like it's not something that I'm going to get excited for.
Yeah, because I've heard them. Remember, it was like there was a time where they were like going to make The Hobbit, and everybody was like, "Okay, yeah, sure." They were like, "No, really, we're gonna." And then they made 3 Hobbit movies, and now it's like, why did we do that? Look where we are now. We're no better as a society for this.
Which kind of ties into today's pod, right?
Yeah. Apes. As a society, we have turned into stupid apes.
Yeah, so segue. Y'all want to do the original 5 first? Just jump into Kingdom spoilers, the reboot series, Tim Burton. Where we want to start?
Yeah, start with the most recent.
Just Tim Burton for the whole show.
No, let's start with that. Why not?
We'll do full Tim Burton in September, Nicholas.
No.
Whatever.
Tim Burton.
I like the Tim Burton movie.
I like it too. I haven't seen it in a while, but I do like it. I did enjoy it for what it's worth as a one-off.
Yeah, it's like it's good, but it's still like the weakest of all 10 to me.
Really?
It's here, but I like it. The only one that I think is like not a great movie is Beneath.
No.
That's just because it's too big for its britches. I was like, they tried way many things, and it's just
like Beneath is like half of a complete rehash of the original, and then like all that underground mutant madness.
Yeah. It's like they started it as a remake of the first one, and then let like an 8-year-old finish it. The rest of it. And they're like, all right, they're going out into a tunnel. You write the rest. And it's like, and there's people down there with brain powers. They look. I'm
just like where were all these motherfuckers in the first movie?
Yeah. What? That's just the more anytime I watch that one, I'm just like, why wouldn't they also be apes? It's the planet of the. That's dumb.
Beneath feels like a TV show. Like it should have been a TV show.
And it's like they never mentioned them again. It's just like this is Earth the whole time, but actually it's people down there, and they got weird brains.
Destroy the planet, and you kind of like part 3 is like a halfway reboot because unknowingly the whole time the 2 scientist apes were going back in time, and we have our 3rd movie.
It's like Terminator. They go back in time to prevent something from happening and end up causing it.
Yes.
Yeah. Paradox.
Yes.
Terminator totally ripped off this franchise.
Did not.
It did. That predates Terminator by like 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Escape 72.
Yeah.
Terminator 4.
Fuckers. It's the same thing. Caesar is just John Connor. And he is like, however you look at it, he's like the hero. He's like a god.
Especially in
Blew
Kingdom.
this wide open. Wow. James Cameron.
Nick just split. cinematic. So let me see.
The old one Apes had a great cast, though.
It did.
I don't say great, but it had a very respectable cast.
Stacked cast.
Yeah,
Wahlberg, Chris Christopherson,
Giamatti,
Tim Roth. I don't give a
Michael
fuck.
Clark
Tim
Duncan.
Roth was given an all-time villain turn. Passed on Harry Potter for that shit.
He was good in it. Like I was like, you watch it and it's like on paper, it's like everybody do their thing, and it was like Paul Giamatti. It's like did his thing. Like Michael Clark. It's like they're all doing their thing. Like none of them were acting above the material, which is why it's just not like a terrific movie.
I'm watching it the other day, and I'm noticing like how similar that intro is to Tim Burton's first Batman.
Yeah, it's just like I think I've come to the conclusion that it's not as weird as the original series. It's weird in its way because it's Planet of the Apes, but it's more of like just an action movie. Like we gotta get
Tim Burton.
Let's band together and fight the apes. And it's like that's not really what the first one is about at all. Like the first Planet of the Apes is really strange, and it's a lot of like courtrooms and kissing the monkeys and like weirdness and like doing humans. Do that in the Tim Burton one.
As much as we'll shit on Rob Zombie for taking Halloween and doing his own thing, Tim Burton really didn't remake Planet of the Apes. He made a Planet of the Apes movie, did his own thing, and just called it Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, it's not bad. Like I don't know. Like I've seen some Letterboxd reviews that are just like, this might be the worst. As an Apes fan, this might be the worst movie I've ever seen. I was like,
but they're probably also like 13 though.
Yeah, I was like 11 or
your first introduction to the series.
Yeah,
because when I was a kid,
I liked it when I was 11 or 12, and I had the toys. I have a Mark Wahlberg action figure somewhere that looks exactly like Mark Wahlberg. Like it's him, and it is exact. I was like, holy shit! I can take that head off and like put it on something else. But anyway,
you're killing me.
But
so I remember seeing this in theaters. Remember seeing this in theaters in my second year in college. This guy talked about he was 11. But
old enough. I was old enough
to party.
Yeah.
But I want to piggyback off something Nick said. He said nobody's acting above the material, but I can't say one thing. There's at least one person acting below it. I wonder whatever happened to Estelle Warren.
Hey.
She's doing
on that.
She was in Jack. You uncultured swine. She was in Jack.
What's Kangaroo Jack?
I mean, why is she? Is the planet and the prisoners, the human prisoners, so dirty? Why is she so pretty and clean in that movie?
They all had white teeth, and they all spoke perfect like English. Yeah.
I'm going to bring that up when we get to the most recent introduction. Yeah. I noticed that in the new Apes movie that we're going to talk about. I noticed the same thing.
She was there. We're talking about how she smelled like shit.
Oh, man.
Get your blanket. He was like, no, she smells like shit.
But yeah.
That's it. We talked about the whole thing.
No, but we missed one thing. The ending.
Yeah, I was gonna say like the sequel setup and lack thereof.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of.
I've read that like even Tim Burton doesn't really know where they were going with that. He just thought it was like a wild ending, and they would just figure it out in a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
And Helena Bonham Carter has said that like she was like, yeah, it's just like a time warp thing where he goes back in time, but like fate has already beat him there.
Yeah, but how recently have y'all watched it?
A couple days ago.
It's been a few years.
All
it's been a few years for me.
So Paul Giamatti's character, when right before Marky Mark hops back in the pod, he's fiddling with something on the pod. I don't know if that was just some crumbs that they put into place that they were gonna go somewhere with, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
Probably not. Yeah, he was over there fucking around with it, and then he was like selling stuff to the kids.
Yeah, but I don't know. That was just awesome.
But it's a crazy, like I said the other day, I was like, it's top 10 like unmade sequels. I'd probably put that in there. Like, I'd really just want to see like one more. Like, what
That and
the
Green
fuck
Lantern.
cooking up with that? And just see if they could write one. You're like, okay, no, what did you mean by that? He walked up to the Lincoln Memorial and it was a monkey. What did you mean by that?
It wasn't just. It was particular.
It was that.
It was that.
Yeah.
The whole like message and shit on the engraving was switched up.
I do remember that.
Dade. We love you, Dade. It was like that. It was cool. I remember it as a kid being like, huh? Like, I was so confused. I was only sort of familiar with the
That's
first.
not Abraham Lincoln. That's Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
It's paper.
Yeah.
But I don't know why. The question is, what was the gross for that movie? It wasn't a flop, right?
No, it was a massive hit, actually. I think at the time, it opened to like 60 some million, which was like one of the biggest openings ever at the time.
Let's see.
Which is weird, but yeah.
The Fox Suits in 2001 just looked at Tim Burton like, nah, bro, you're weird.
You're weirder than Planet of the Apes.
Go make
But
big.
also,
Yeah.
Marky Mark he was that guy, man. You know what I mean? So like, he got casted for something like, especially because it came out in the summertime, right? I believe.
Two on
There's a
a
summer
budget, end of July release date.
You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure it was a summer blockbuster. So yeah, you put Marky Mark in there. That's just like,
I recall. And he wasn't really the like lead guy. Like, that was sort of like his first, because he had done like the Big Hit and like the Perfect Storm.
Yeah, he was coming off Perfect Storm. I think Rockstar was like months away.
Yeah, I loved Rockstar, but that's neither here nor there. But
yeah.
It was just kind of like, here. And like, he's not great in Planet of the Apes. He's doing his thing, but it's kind of weird. Like, if that came out today, like, he probably wouldn't have had much of a career afterwards. Like, it'd been like,
He's doing his Andy Samberg thing.
Yeah. Say hi to your mother for.
Like, why are these apes like this? What happened?
How the hell these apes get like this? What's up with that?
Yeah.
It's but
where
like,
I'm from, they're in zoos.
Oh wow, he did say that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I like, yeah, by all accounts, it was like a very large hit. And like, everyone had it on DVD. That was like one of those movies that was like,
that's true, yeah.
That's probably one of my first DVDs.
Yeah. I remember. People don't forget. But they were just like, nah, let's not make a second one. Let's make 12 Transformers.
Different studio.
Society said.
Fox stated that if Apes was a financial success, a sequel would be commissioned. Ultimately, they decided against pursuing another film. When asked whether he'd be interested in a follow-up, Tim Burton replied, "I'd rather jump out a window."
Wow.
Yeah, he doesn't like doing shit twice. Or if he does something and it's like the studio is fucking with him, like, he's not gonna do another one.
That has to be what happened.
Forever.
It's
like, they'd have let him do Batman Forever if they'd have just said, do your thing again.
Yeah.
He'd have done Batman Forever. He didn't
Fuck the
want...
Karens, fuck the soccer moms.
Yeah.
Fuck the Happy Meals.
On Oprah.
So fuck the kid reading off cue cards.
Yeah. Dork. I hope he's listening right now. He's probably not. He's like 50.
We're gonna bounce all around the franchise. Let's just jump into Kingdom. I think Eric was the biggest hater. I may have given it the highest rating. Jake's seen it twice. Nick liked it.
I watched it twice. I'm an AMC Stubbs member, so I wanted to sneak another viewing. I saw it Wednesday, the early premiere or whatever. And then Randy graciously invited me on the pod. I was like, all right, I gotta brush up on it. I'll see it again beforehand, so I can sound like a complete total dork. But yeah, I've seen it twice now. I actually saw it early this morning for the second time, so it's fresh on my brain.
And first movie you've seen twice in the theater since 2007.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen a movie twice in the theater. But I will say this, not to get off course, because I think we're kind of unscripted anyway. But in terms of like where it ranks in the modern Apes saga, I think it's right there with the first one. I which is what Dawn, right?
Rise.
Rise.
So
Rise.
Rise is the Franco one. Okay, so I feel like it's on par with that one because I feel like the other two were arguably pick your poison because I feel like they're probably the two best out of the franchise. It just depends on like which one you like better. I feel like those were fantastic movies, not just as an Apes fan or whatever, but I feel like those were really good movies. And the first James Franco movie, like nobody knew what to expect. Like we were going to that movie like, oh, it's a new Apes movie. This is either going to be like really terrible or it's going to be who knows. And I believe it caught everybody by surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all really enjoyed it. And then the second one rolls out and it's like, whoa.
Bro.
So I liked Kingdom. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot because I'm a huge fan of the franchise and just the story, the ethos, whatever. In general, like I love these movies. So I truly, truly enjoyed it. But I feel like it's on par with that first James Franco movie, and I'm stupid excited to see where they take it. I'm excited to see the next two in this particular trilogy.
They really cook like 5 more of these, and they're all this good. Fuck. Was it Rupert walked so Matt Reeves could fucking fly, man. Rise was good. Dawn and War are just next level.
Rise,
Indie Circus.
like Rise is more fun. It's like the entertainment value of Rise is like insane. Because I was rewatching it. That's the first time I've watched them in like 7 years. So I was like, it's like when the shit starts to pop, it's like they started fashioning the thing to like open the cages and all the stuff. I was like, oh, they're fuck, like, and it just kept going and going. And the guys, riding their bikes or whatever, and they look and the leaves are falling and shit, and the apes. And I was just like, this is so fun, but like, it's not as dramatically hefty. It's like when you get to Dawn, it's like, wow, like, just like them showing up at the gates, like all sitting on their horses, like just chilling, is like, I don't know. That's really good.
I'm gonna put it like this. Now go ahead, Nick.
No, I'm just talking out of my ass. I'm so the like King as it is, like as I was expecting, I like went in thinking like this is not gonna be as good as War and Dawn. Like it's just not. So if it is, I probably have room to be pleasantly surprised if it is. And it was really good. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Just felt so fresh tonally. It wasn't trying to do what the last 3 did, but it held its own. Like Noah is like a great new protagonist.
Yeah. So many things are like, I'm really tired of like the shared universe. Everything is in the universe. There's a fucking Office show coming out that's in the same universe as the kill yourself. This felt like a thing. Like it wasn't like they were redoing the last trilogy, but it was like this is the same universe. I was like, I believe this is generations later, and this is that same world, the same story, the same setup. And I liked that. Not just like trying.
So we going spoilers here?
Yeah. If you're watching and listening and you haven't seen Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, go fuck yourself and see the movie and then come back and finish the episode.
Heavy spoilers coming in because I got a lot of talk
Nothing is off limits.
Yeah, but I know Randy mentioned my rating of the movie, which is not a bad rating. I like the movie.
Biggest hater, as in you gave it the lowest rating.
Yeah, 3.5. I mean, that's
above average.
But the thing is,
2.5.
And I'm gonna ask Nick a question on this. The thing is, I rate my movies like in a series is relative. I'm giving it 3.5 because I didn't like it as much as some of the other movies. Dawn is my personal favorite. And Nick, buddy, what does a movie have to do for you to give it 5 stars? Good God.
It's got to be like, like there's got to be something like where I'm like, I wouldn't change a thing about this. And I'm starting. There's certain movies that I'm starting to look back and reassess. Like a great example is like Spider-Man 2, where I have it at like 4.5. But when I watch it, I'm like, no, this isn't perfect. No, there are things in it that are like silly. I'm like, but would I change anything about this? I don't
Dude,
know.
I don't
There-
think any movie's perfect, and I will slut a 5-star rating.
That's what I'm saying. I was like,
That's
certain ones
true. That's true. You be giving out fives.
where I'm like, dude, are the first two
Yeah.
like the best
And I
movies?
put it like that with Randy.
Yeah.
No movie is perfect, but ask the question: is it perfect for what it was trying to do?
Yeah, and I'm usually like, no. Like I'm usually like, there's
Yeah. That's
Is
what I'm
there
saying. Like the
something-
Pop-Tart movie, I gave the Pop-Tart movie like a flat 3.
Yeah.
The humor just doesn't work for me, but it's an interesting story. But that's probably exactly the final product Jerry Seinfeld was trying to cook.
Oh, the Pop Tart movie, you threw me through a loop. I was like, what? Pop Tart movie?
Unfrosted.
Yeah, I forgot.
Unfrosted.
Yeah, Unfrosted. Okay. I was like, what? This podcast is getting off the
It's
rails.
like the Lego movie with Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, but that was the original
Yeah.
name of it, which is hilarious.
that sounds fucking terrible, dog. I never watched
Yeah.
it. But anyway. No, I
So
don't
I
know.
want to.
There's
I want
a
to go
lot
back. I want to go back to. I kind of want to run through them in order real quick because I feel like Rise. I feel like Rise was, like you said, it was kind of like fun, caught everybody surprised. But there were some scenes in Rise that were heavy. There were some heavy scenes in that movie. With I think the first heavy scene being when James Franco's dad starts to like his body starts to
Regress.
fight off the it starts to go downhill. Like his body starts to fight
The
off
car
the
scene.
yes, and Caesar goes out there and bites the
He's
neighbor or
defending his
whatever.
family.
Yeah, and then he gets locked up, and there's like nothing James Franco can do, and like he goes to like
He
visit
tried,
him, I
though.
think, and he's like Caesar
This
was like,
is
oh, we're
what you're
going
gonna
home.
do.
He's like, we're going home, and James
Computing
Franco's
your
like,
computer.
nah, buddy, we're not going home. So that was like
Yeah.
a powerful scene. Then you have the
Andy
quote unquote bad
Serkis.
guy. You have the bad guy at the shelter who was like, tormenting the apes or whatever. And then like when Caesar,
Malfoy.
kills him, kills him or whatever, and like escapes and starts to make his spot. Like those are intense and heavy scenes. Like there's a lot of emotion that goes into those.
And also, that's the first scene that he speaks, right? That you're referring to. No,
Yeah.
it was just a great scene.
That's all Andy Serkis, and that's all mocap performance getting fucking neglected by the Academy.
Yeah, I was gonna get to that. Soon down the line, because they're not gonna make that a thing. Special achievement Oscar has got to be Andy Serkis's for the work he's done in the advancement and the work with mocap.
King Kong, Apes.
And also the work he did in 13 going on 30. He's good.
Yeah.
They will also tack that on.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, sure.
And also that.
Yeah, bro. I don't know. I love the burn of Rise. Like it's in modern times. Nothing's risen yet. James Franco, the company that had like I'm watching these movies and they like, what if I worked for a company that led to the fall of human civilization? And
I'd kill myself.
Okay.
you raise the ape.
Series over.
He's got the drug. He's developing all these traits and all these human-like abilities. And then yeah, he gets locked up. And it's like when he finally throws the money on Brian Cox's desk and like he caves and Brian Cox is ready to let Caesar back with James Franco, and the wheels are already turning. The plan's already in motion. Caesar's just like, nah, fuck that shit. Like, you had your chance. You had your chance to get me out of here. Now you're on your own, bruh.
Yeah.
That's a heavy scene.
Yeah, it's like fun just to watch it. Like he's getting smarter and smarter and smarter, even though like they're putting him in the cage and like his situation is getting smaller and smaller, but he is getting wiser and
he's becoming very aware of the world around him.
What's his name? Oh, I'm blanking. Who's the orangutan?
Maurice.
He's sitting there with Maurice. He's apes individually soft or whatever, apes together strong, and then like it plays for humor. Apes stupid, but then Caesar, oh, I'm gonna go get the juice, and then everybody's smart.
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, Rise is really fun. As I said, like I don't think Dawn is fun. It's entertaining. It's fun in the way the Dark Knight is fun. Like it's not really fun, but wow, I'm like sitting there like, wow, Rise.
Like every threat is like heavier to Caesar.
Like I was laughing at Rise. Like it's the cops were throwing the smoke bombs and shit.
Too,
Then he running through on a horse, and I was like,
who was the bigger pain in the ass? Was a bigger pain in the ass Koba or was it Woody Harrelson?
You know, get to that.
I feel like it's Koba, man. I feel like Koba's an all-time great villain. Oh my god, that's weird to say.
Koba was right.
Toby Kebbell.
You can put the Koba argument in that villain. It was like, were they right? It's like Thanos was right. No. Like, was he? I don't know. But it's like was Koba not wrong? Wrong. He wasn't right necessarily. He went about it the wrong way.
Yeah, he did shoot Caesar. And burn down his own home.
But that's the thing with I think that's what makes a great villain, though. I mean, it's just not mustache twirling evil for no reason. Yeah. It's just how you go about it. It's like Killmonger, and then to talk of another series. But
I mean, Woody Harrelson. I mean, you can have that argument a little bit. Like he does the whole scene where he explains why he is the way he is, and it's not right. But it's like, it's the war is hell of it all. Is what makes that movie so good. It's just like, here's how it affected his life, and that's why he's here right now. This is how it affected Caesar's life, and that's why you're here right now. And you're both talking to each other instead of living life. And it's really good. War is really good. I almost cried watching War. There were things about it that I forgot because I haven't rewatched it since the theater.
So I forgot y'all brought up. Now, what's that, Nick?
I forgot about Bad Ape completely. Like, I don't know how.
Yeah.
Bad Ape.
Yeah.
When his character popped up,
so y'all brought up, or one of y'all
Matt
brought
Reeves
up.
be hitting those humorous moments so good.
What's the actor name? God, dog, you just mentioned him yesterday in the chat.
Bad Ape?
Yeah.
Steve Zahn?
Steve Zahn. Where has he been? No, he's been in...
He was Bad Ape 7 years ago.
Isn't he on one of those like HBO shows?
He's been on TV or streaming, whatever you want to call it. But y'all brought up Woody Harrelson and Howard Hawks, who's an old school director. He said, what makes a good and a great movie? He said, he's 3 good scenes, no bad ones. So War. War.
White Lotus.
Oh.
I'm listening.
No, but War, I think, I posted it the other day. I think one of the greatest scenes in the entire series is when they come face to face for the first time. Woody and Caesar. God dog it. And he runs up.
In Caesar's home.
Yeah, the slow turnaround.
Yeah.
And he got the... And then he looks at Caesar. Then Caesar looks at him. Then he looks over. And then Caesar looks back and sees his family. And then it's perfect. No dialogue. And even no sound for the first quarter of it. And when he starts shooting the gun, it's just... I think that's the perfect scene.
Yeah.
It's really...
I agree.
Really good.
Powerful.
There's a few scenes in the movie too, like when they come across the dead humans in the snow and they got the fresh bullet wounds in them, but there's also been like some snow that since then has. But you also like realize, hey, damn, this just happened. Like they're fresh on their trail. They literally just killed these humans. Like, and the apes are trying to figure out like what's going on. Like, why are they killing their own kind? Yeah. Which kind of ties into something in Kingdom that I kind of want to talk about because I feel like Kingdom, when it comes to like franchises or sagas or whatever. Who like one of them takes place before the other one and the other one takes place at a later date or whatever, like Star Wars being an example. Like there's a lot of like fan services, a lot of lip service going on in it. So that's like a lot of the complaints that people had with Kingdom from the few things that I've read and watched or whatever. But one thing that they did kind of do is how the end of War was Caesar throwing the grenade and causing like the avalanche, wiped out the humans that were, quote unquote good, that were coming to stop Woody Harrelson and his people and Woody Harrelson at the same time. The human kind of did that same thing at the end of Kingdom. She not only wiped out the bad apes that were trying to come in and take over all that stuff, but she also like she made a decision like, it is
A lot of
we're
Caesars,
here
a
at this
lot of
we're here at this pinnacle where it's us versus them. Like as much as I want to, separate the good from the bad, like I have to put my people first. And when she blew that and like kind of, I don't want to say kind of betrayed or whatever, but that was like some mirroring, like a callback or whatever to war. And I thought that was a really cool scene how they kind of like threw that in there.
I
And they
love
did
At the very end, though, bro, she was ready for whatever. She had the strap.
Yeah, that was a good touch.
of Kingdom. I was like,
Yeah.
What I expected or whatever. It's like it could have, like, if I don't know. You always think like, is there going to be a credit scene or some bullshit? But I was just like, I love that they ended it with that little conversation, or because like it was just like, oh, are they going to have like a goodbye, I love you or whatever? And I was like, they shouldn't, and they didn't. Like he walked up and what the fuck do you want? And she's like,
And that's like, what I love about Noah. Like I think like the like visual effects or whatever, the design for Noah, he looks a lot like Caesar, but they don't ever like establish like this is Caesar's like great whatever. So like his clan doesn't really know Caesar, and that when he meets up with the orangutan, like, and he's got like the window like charm piece or whatever, like I thought that was a fire detail.
Yeah,
like Caesar's like logo and shit, because was Proximus Caesar, like they had that shit on the ship, and I think at the very beginning during the memorial was right after war, right? And then they jumped to generations. But like it's cool that like Noah was like should I like be like Caesar? Should I do my own thing? Like he's not really like following that shit yet.
Yeah, he wants to
might
do
like
his due
carve
diligence
his
to
own
find
lane.
out.
Yeah. And that's why like tonally, like I said, it doesn't feel like the first three, and what they do in the future might not ride the same path. Like it felt like its own movie while still like paying that respect.
What were they looking at in the telescope? Are we implying that Charlton Heston is going to come through this black hole?
Wait. I've had this fan theory forever, because if you go back to the first James Franco movie, when you go back to the first James Franco movie, they pan to a TV screen and it shows astronauts being launched up into the air. They don't say where they're going, which I don't know if anybody remembers.
That's true. Yeah.
That scene lives rent free in my head ever since that first James Franco movie came out. I was like, oh, but I know where they're going to take this. Obviously, the franchise is taking like a different path or whatever, but I can't help but feel like there's going to be a call back to that. I don't know if it'll be as much on the nose, simplistic. Like we spoon fed you these breadcrumbs, but I just can't help but feel like that is going to get
Miles
called back
Teller
at some
playing
point.
the Charlton Heston character.
Like
that's been like when they finally 4 or 5 movies away or whatever. That's always been like the guess is that everything's gonna come back around to the 68 movie.
I mean, it would still have to be a while, because like Charlton Heston was like, it's 2,000 years. Everyone who sent us is dead. And it's like, okay.
See, the rumor was always that Kingdom was 300 years after war, but they never said.
It's just generations.
Just generations.
And it
felt like generations.
Yeah. It doesn't really seem like, if there's that many people still out and about, like it doesn't seem that long.
Right.
Like if it is
2 humans in this movie.
Yeah.
Hey, she fucked William H. Macy up, by the way.
She did.
Yeah, put that $1 million dream
put
on
that scorpion squeezer on his ass.
That scene, that's another important scene in that movie too, because the whole premises of Apes, like apes shall not kill apes. That right there let you know that humans and apes are different. Because when it comes to humans like, nah, I'll fucking kill you. Like I'll wipe your ass out. If you try to stop me from what I'm doing. That was a powerful scene, because like that slow chokehold that she had, like it was they kind of like slowed it down a little bit, and like he taking his last breaths or whatever. Like that was that was for a reason. That scene served a purpose for sure.
He was trying to set her straight. He was giving her like the earful, and as soon as he walked away, I was like, oh, he about to snitch and fuck up the whole plan. And nope.
Yeah,
straight up. That was a powerful scene, because that's the difference between apes and humans. That's the beautiful thing about this franchise, like, because it like makes you like you fall like specifically this Kingdom movie, like it's playing with your emotions a little bit. Like, are you more of on the human side, or are you more on the ape side? So they did that. That was a
Human
beautiful
design.
scene in terms of like, I'm, obviously I'm pro-human because I'm a human or whatever, but also like apes don't really kill apes. And this human like had no hesitation. Like she was like, as soon as he turned his back and walked away, she's like, nope, you're out of here. Like
that's when it's at its best, where it's like, okay, obviously it's like Caesar is like your protagonist. By the time you get to Dawn and War, Caesar is the guy. So he's the guy you follow, but that's when it's at its best, is when you're not 100%. So that's why I put Dawn above War. That was sort of my deciding factor. Was like War's stance was like humans are bad. They're always bad. They're always going to be bad. They're bad. Dawn was like, these people are just trying to live. You understand fully why they would be apprehensive towards these talking monkeys that are holding spears and shit. Like, you understand why they wouldn't want to deal with that. War is just like, they're at war. War is hell. Humans are bad. Monkeys are good. And this is kind of getting back into that like murky territory. It's like, why shouldn't the humans be allowed to like live? And then at the end, it shows you like, you're probably not going to be able to coexist. And this is the planet of the apes. So
Hey,
that sucks for you.
Wherever that satellite signal went to, though.
Yeah. And
Oh,
I
goodness.
they're one of those mirror things, because like I had forgotten. It was like you had those, what I would call them like the Uncle Tom apes that were in the war, that were like fighting with the humans. I was like, man, fuck you guys.
Big white gorilla.
And didn't do anything about them. Like he was like, go tell your boss we're coming. And then they, fucked them over again and again and again.
Yeah.
donkey.
William H. Macy.
They're called donkeys.
And she immediately like took him out. She was immediately like,
William H. Macy was the donkey in Kingdom.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like Donkey had so many, like he talked to him all day. He was like,
bitch, you let them call you donkey. You're an ape.
Yeah, that was a good scene too. When the first two humans that were able to speak kind of got in the same room together. He was like, "So where are you from?" And she was like, "You go first."
Yeah.
And like he kind of like told a story or whatever. So she's like, "Oh, he's like, what about you?" And she's like, "Well, I'm not the one that's helping the apes."
Mm-hmm.
So that was pretty well written. That was
like
pretty good.
Immediately like, no, I don't fuck with
That's
you.
what I'm saying.
Whatever.
There's two movies. There's two movies that are getting put out by Disney this year that the franchise has my loyalty, but the director was my skepticism. Apes stuck the landing, so now Deadpool got to come through.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about
the Maze Runner movies aren't bad, but they're not apes. They're not these last three apes. But now, like, if Wes Ball gets the next Apes movie, like, I'm instantly hyped.
And he's doing the Legend of Zelda movie, allegedly.
Oh yeah, sure.
Heyo. Okay. Do it. That's what I'm saying. Like, movies are pretty good. They're well directed. I would say they're well directed films.
And also, speaking of well directed, Matt Reeves and Dawn, the tank scene. Another like masterpiece of cinema.
The guy, camera guy.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Cloverfield is good. Let Me In is good. But Matt Reeves got Dawn, War, the Batman. Like, he's coming up, man.
Yeah. He's on the tear. He's on the tear.
It's kind of like you could rehash a villain we've had before, like the Batman Part 2. If they evolve Bruce Wayne, not even Batman, just Bruce Wayne, that shit could be iconic.
I was even like, I was reading the reports about Joseph Kosinski, director of Top Gun.
He's about to do that.
He's doing
that Brad Pitt racing movie,
Formula One movie, $300 million, and I was like, Jesus Christ, that's crazy. And you got people like,
never gonna make that.
Top Gun Maverick, he's gonna do great and all this stuff. And I was like, no, Joseph Kosinski isn't that guy yet. And then I immediately thought, who is that guy? And I was like, Matt Reeves is that guy right now. I was like, Matt Reeves, you can he's getting to the point where you can put his name on something and people be like, yeah. He's maybe one or two more, and he'll be in the Christopher Nolan category, where you don't have to be like from the director of Inception. You can just be like from Christopher Nolan.
Denis Villeneuve just hit that level.
Yeah. Villeneuve is a great example. Like he used to be from the director of Arrival, Blade Runner, whatever, and now it's just like, what you're about to see. This is
the
Steve.
guy that made doing a movie. I'm there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that has that potential. Not saying Kaczynski doesn't have that potential, but I was like, I don't think he's there. We're just throwing $300 million at his movie.
I mean,
but, yeah,
15 years later, we're finally getting a Tron follow up. Not from Denton, but we're getting a Tron follow up.
Yeah.
Oblivion is good, a little underrated.
Yeah, Tron.
Kaczynski's only shitball is that Netflix movie with Hemsworth and Miles Teller last year, and that's mid. It's not bad.
Only the Brave was fucking great too.
Underrated.
Yeah, he's got heat, but I'm like, I don't think he's there. If I go outside, nobody knows who that name. I'm like, who's Joseph?
Like, I don't know. I don't know if I know Jake don't really do TV like that, but I don't know if y'all two like follow Snowfall. So I love that Damson Idris is with Brad Pitt in this Formula One movie. Because Kaczynski could come up, Damson Idris could like get more like widespread notoriety. This movie could be fire.
We'll see. I'm sure it'll be great.
Yeah,
it's never gonna make its budget back. It's never gonna make
it. It could literally break even, which I guess in Hollywood has taken an L.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 300 million. If it makes 300 million, I'd be like, it didn't make $1 billion. It's like, did you think it would? That's the thing. It's like, that doesn't bother me, but it's like, it's gonna bother Hollywood. They'd be like, what are we doing? No, it's the audience that's wrong. And it's like, no.
Right.
But anyway,
Jake, you had mentioned the main human like not looking clean or not looking dirty enough or something.
Yeah, just the very last scene. So like the entire part of the movie, like she was like cold, she had no clothes, and then she floods the silo, and then the next time we see her, she got on some new clothes, like she's warm. She's got on I don't know what you call it, like wild.
Oh, I'm about to drop off this chick.
Yeah, she just like, would you find a wardrobe down there, or would you find?
We had to 27
bartering? Like, did you trade some bullets for some clothes? Like, I don't know.
I found these garments.
Picked up these new threads all of a sudden. So like, it's very small nitpicky things.
I got to clean up to go to this satellite.
I've seen it. I have seen it twice. So it was like fresh on my mind today. I was like, wait a minute, like she was like 30 minutes ago, like she was cold, like huddled up next to this fire. Now she got on brand new clothes. Like, where'd these clothes come from?
She pulled
down the creek and cleaned up right quick.
Yeah, she pulled a Lando Calrissian at the end of like Empire, where he's just wearing Han Solo's clothes. It's just like look at Macy's clothes, like kill him and just.
Can we tie this into our thoughts and maybe ideas of where they're going with that ending? Because when she walked up to the underground silo, whatever it was. She opened the door. She had on a mask. They were clearly quarantined. So, is there two separate types of smart humans? Like, clearly, there's the dumb humans that were out there in the river with the zebras that can't talk. Yeah. There's also these other humans that have like been able to keep their ability to speak and are still smart or.
Well, I think it's basically three. It's the ones that are totally. Taken over by the disease. They can't talk. They've been regressed, and like the lead human, she's immune to it. And then you got the humans who aren't immune, but they're quarantined
but they haven't been exposed. Okay, that's kind of what I was thinking. Okay, so you have a sector of humans that have been like quarantined and have not been exposed at all. And then you have the other humans that are, still remain human, but have been exposed or are immune or whatever. So I feel like that's kind of where I wanted to steer this conversation. Yeah. Is it going to come a point where like May is going to like be part of the cure or whatever for this because like she's immune to it, and the people that are down in the bunker are going to have to like somehow in this next movie or the third movie or whatever, going to have to like cross paths and try to figure out how we're going to save the human race or something like that. So that was the ending. The ending, it was not. It left a lot to be desired, but I also like it was like a perfect setup in my opinion. Like it was a perfect setup for like.
I'm surprised y'all didn't say where the people were calling from at the end on the satellite.
Fort Wayne, yeah.
I'm not gonna hold you.
That was random as hell. That was super random.
Did they say Indiana?
Say Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Yeah, Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Let's go.
The first time I watched it,
I did a double take. Did I hear Indiana? And I just like kept watching.
Because the first time I watched it IMAX, and it was like I don't
know.
know.
Let's ball.
something weird about IMAX sound. I don't know if it's the same with your guys' theaters, but like it's IMAX. Like it just sounds like too
Echoey.
loud. So the first time I watched it in IMAX, and I watched it today, I just watched it in regular Dolby Digital or whatever, and I could hear things a lot more clear. So I heard that I was like, they did say Fort Wayne, Indiana. That's so random. I have no idea. Maybe we have like a government. I don't know. I kind of want to look into it, but it's just too random for Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Yeah,
Like they got to have like a space program or something. Something that's got to be up there. I got to look into that. That was too random.
Then again, it might
Ace
be
movie
the
takes Fort Wayne,
screenwriter
I'm
or
losing my
somebody
shit.
from there.
True, yeah, it could have been just a nod to somebody on the cast and crew. Yeah.
But like, did the whole movie take place there, or did she?
I was wondering, because like I know that it was like a ship. I know like Proximus Caesar was like protecting like a ship. He wanted to open like a military ship or some shit, right?
Yeah.
But like in the back of my head, like I was like, I hope this is like the facility that James Franco worked at, where she's like finding the guns and like they're gonna find whatever he's looking for.
So, okay. I usually go see these movies with my dad. Like there's certain movies, like he's my movie buddy, and I'll just ask him, I'm like, do you care about this? And he'll be like, yeah. I was supposed to go see this with my dad. He ended up having to do something out of town, and I couldn't get a refund on the ticket. And so I ended up taking my mom. And I was like, Mom, I'll come over. We'll watch, 1, 2, 3. You don't have to watch, but we'll watch 1, 2, 3, and like you'll get up to speed and you'll know what happened. She enjoyed them. We went and saw this, and her takeaway that she was like, wait, was that where like they were like in Dawn, like they were going and like working on to like they were working on the dam,
find the electricity?
And I was like, no. And then she just kept saying, it was like, well, then why was there? It's such a thing that like they let the dam loose in this and like flooded it and all this stuff. And I was like,
that's a great point.
It was like Dylon. Like I was like, Mom, wait, no. And she was like, well, wouldn't that make sense though? Like and I was like, I guess we didn't spend a lot of time there. So I was like, they didn't like treat it like it was a thing like you should know where they are right now. Like it was just like there. But then the more I thought about it, I missed
I was wondering, like, are they even still in California?
I don't know. And she was like, well, weren't they like in San Francisco or whatever? And I was like, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
But who's to say they weren't there? And she was like, yeah, it was a lot of woods. I was like, but the whole world is woods now. And you just
greenery and
and so it was just
rubbery.
I don't know. I don't know if that's what they're alluding to.
Well, they at the very end, the scene where the Eagles, Noah calls back the Eagles, that you can clearly see what that, I don't know, silo. I keep saying silo. You can see there's a name up there, and I can't remember it.
Yeah.
I made a mental note of it this morning, but I freaking can't remember what it was. So I feel like that was kind of like an Easter egg for somebody to be like, oh, let's see what this is. It's you could probably type that into Google and like, something will pop up.
Noah and his girl went back to the satellite and was checking out the telescope.
Yeah.
And May went to wherever the satellites are.
That's how the movie ended, was them like looking, and I just was like, they're looking at a black hole. They said it in the beginning. They were like, hole that sucks out the light or whatever. And they were like, well, yeah, I guess we got other shit to worry about. And I was like, why would you?
We got to get these eggs right quick.
And
so have you
looking at it like that has to mean Mark Wahlberg or Charlton Heston or somebody,
or
would that be some shit if they tied back into the Tim Burton movie?
Oh no, they wouldn't dare.
What the hell is this? Not again. Oh my god. Maybe go fuck yourself. Or it's the little monkey from the beginning.
I feel like a missed opportunity. Did he call himself Proximus or Proximus Caesar?
They kept
Proximus Caesar, right?
But yeah, I want to say it was Proximus Caesar.
Because like Rocca, like he should have been there as like the Caesar loyalist. Should have been there like, bro, you a bitch. You ain't doing shit like Caesar used to.
You don't know Caesar like I know Caesar.
So,
they could have
tried
Rocca.
Have you guys read any other reviews or fan theories or anything like that since you've seen Kingdom?
I've seen a couple wild letterbox ratings, but I haven't went through specific reviews or anything.
So a lot of people. It seems to be a question of who is the descendant of Caesar. If is it Proximus or is it Noah? And I feel like that's pretty. They made it pretty clear, in my opinion, because Noah had the bright eyes, same bright eyes that Caesar had. I don't know if you guys noticed that or
That's what I
not.
mean. Like, his design was really like similar to Caesar.
Yeah, he had the exact same eyes as Caesar. So I thought that was like kind of clear from the beginning, but also like I mean, you never know. It could just be where we are in the evolution of apes, because also the word evolution now the wheels are turning. When the first humans kind of like sit down and they're having a dinner with Proximus, and he brings in Noah. Proximus has his line like ape evolution, like he just weren't learned the word evolution.
Yeah, say evolution.
He kind of looked at him. He's like, am I saying that right? Like evolution, and he was like, yeah. He's like, okay, so apes evolution. So like evolution was kind of like So who knows if it's like is it generations have gone by? Is it evolution to where all the apes' eyes are kind of the same now? But I thought I did that on purpose because with Noah's eyes and the color, the shade and all that. I feel like that was pretty clear. But I've heard some people like questioning whether or not Proximus was a descendant of Caesar or not. And
I feel weird.
I hate to compare this shit, but it's like a lot of churches will take like biblical scripture, twist it for their own benefit. And I feel like Proximus was taking the name Caesar and doing the same shit.
Yeah, I was gonna
he weaponized religion. That's basically that was a heavy underlying theme of this movie. He weaponized religion. Yeah, for sure.
They could have called this religion of the Planet of the Apes. It was like as soon as the dude was like for Caesar, I was like, wait, this is a different story than I was anticipating. I thought it was going to be
fire though.
Like he was gonna be like Noah was gonna be like Luke Skywalker, who eventually learns really important. And I'm the guy, being that.
But I think they can do that in sequels.
They could. I'm at a point though where it's like, do I need it? Not really. I don't. If they're gonna do it organic, great. But you don't need to rise.
That's what I'm saying.
And make
after Kingdom, we're at a fork in the road. Noah could be Luke Skywalker, or he could be Rey.
Yeah, he doesn't have to be. We don't need to Rise of Skywalker it though. It's like decide what you want. Yeah. Go with that, but don't be like they never.
That said though, Disney's still running the show, and it could turn into a shit show.
Yeah. Told you who you're great.
Oh, don't say that, man.
Don't give him any ideas, right?
No, don't say that. Bro, I choose to remain optimistic.
Jake has known me since 1995, and it's almost blasphemous to me as a person to put any franchise over Batman. Those three, Matt Reeves, Rupert Wyatt, Rise Dawn War, I put over the Dark Knight trilogy.
It's
feel me?
Consistency. If we're talking consistency, it's at least on par. It's par.
It's my favorite, maybe not my favorite all-time trilogy. Like I don't know what my favorite all-time trilogy is, but my favorite modern day since the new millennium century started, those three Apes movies until yesterday were my favorite. Now it's my favorite quadrilogy.
Quadrilogy. So we're talking about trilogies. Like it's funny you say that because I think Dark Knight is probably what everybody would go to, but I say I'm right there with you. Like Apes.
A lot of motherfuckers go Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
I was gonna say Lord of the Rings. Like it's like Apes, Lord of the Rings, Dark Knight. Like they're like freaking neck and neck. Like
I might be in the minority. Captain America is a contender too.
If we're separating trilogies, then it's Star Wars all day. But a lot of people are like, well, it's all not. Time. But I'm like the original Star Wars trilogy.
Back to the Future, but go on.
That's our thing. Like that's the greatest thing we've ever done. To me, I'm like, we show that when
as human
planet, we're good for this. We made this. Let us keep doing. But
apes, you apes can't make these movies.
Yeah, it's like y'all couldn't do this. It would be stupid if you did it.
That was the thing, though. Like apes being the dominant species in Kingdom, they were still tripped out about all the advancements and shit that humans had accomplished way back when. And so that was a cool thing that they were doing.
There, but I'm like, there's still time. You imagine like there would have to still be time by the time they start wearing clothes and talking like Roddy McDowell. It's like that be 2,000 years. they've still got time. Like, imagine how much we will shit our pants if they eventually get to like, this is Dr. Zaius and it's a fucking monkey. Like, I'll be like,
It's a fucking monkey. But,
I'll be in though. I'll be in. I'm super excited to see where they take this.
let's take a break. So where we want to go next?
Let's talk about
Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Yeah, we do.
talked about the old movie.
Freddie Gibbs.
Gangsta
Like,
Gibbs.
We've
Some
sort of
Gary, but go off.
Let me ask y'all
Gary,
this
you're
about
right,
the
Gary.
Heston movies. How many of y'all actually knew the twist before you watched it for the first
There was
time?
one Heston.
Well,
everybody knows that twist.
I
That was the
Yeah.
twist before the Sixth Sense.
Yeah, that was the twist before all. I mean, it's probably the first plot twist in the movie.
Before the Sixth Sense, I think it was Planet of the Apes and Psycho.
yeah. I thought it, I'm sure I didn't know it as a child, but it by the time I got a little older, probably around when the remake came out, when I like watched it and actually could comprehend, I was like, oh, that's what that means. So it's like, yeah, I knew the whole.
That's not the Lincoln Memorial.
Yeah, I'm doing the Statue of Liberty. Like, I know that was like an iconic scene. Even that's what I did that, so you would know.
Well, it's a torch.
Yeah. But yeah,
But
but it still works. It's still like a
Yeah.
really budget.
the funny thing
Yeah.
is, I saw a movie that parodied that ending. A movie called Spaceballs.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all remember. They
Movie
parodied
called
the ending.
Spaceballs.
The movie, some movie called Taxi Driver, but
Movie called
Hey, speaking of a callback,
but yeah, Spaceballs did a parody of the original Statue of Liberty ending. Then they had the apes come up.
They made fun of that in Madagascar.
Oh wow!
You darn
God,
you will.
dog.
yeah,
And I
they
remember
did.
that I was like 15 or something when that came out. Like, I fully understood it then. Like, I understood the reference. So
Mm.
I was like, yeah, at some point in my life, I knew that it was a twist before I watched it. Yeah, I was 15 when Madagascar came out. I was young.
I was 27.
I was 15. I was still old enough
To party.
to party for it to look like childish things, but still watch it.
But I do know one thing. I hate every ape I see, from chimpan A to chimpanzee. This come on, y'all know the Simpsons episode.
No, I had too many for that right now.
He could talk. He could talk. I could sing.
Yo, when when what's her name? Eve, May, Nova,
May.
all the women in the Planet of the Apes are called Nova,
That's 3 different people.
right? Right. She initially like jacks the blanket, smashes the egg, and then they send like a gorilla to go find her, right? But then Noah goes out too. And then like that herd of like protagonist apes come through. Was it the gorilla's horse or was that Noah's horse that like caused his
That was
clan to
Noah's
get
horse.
burned down?
It's like,
Yeah, that was Noah's horse.
Was
and
it?
that's why I kind of thought maybe he would grapple with that a little more.
Yeah.
It's like, not your fault that they followed the horse back to your house. If you'd have not been out there, fucking with your egg.
Yeah.
He had to have that egg.
It was good. It was hefty. I was like, oh no, it's on fire.
So they sent the crew out to go find the human, which is what Proximus Caesar's scouts found them, which turned into Noah going out to find another egg. He just happened to stumble upon them. So it was like a weird thing of like wrong place, wrong time, but also like times 3. Like it was a weird mashup of wrong place, wrong time for a bunch of different characters. So because they went out to find they call them the outsiders, or the echoes or whatever. And their scouts ran into Proximus Caesar's scouts, and then Noah just happened to stumble upon them, and his horse is what led them back to his tribe.
On the real, like Noah's whole clan was really just like a bunch of vegan hippie apes.
Head in the
No,
sand.
they were eating fish. They weren't vegan. They were eating fish.
Head in the sand.
They had they were the alternative lifestyle apes though. They didn't know shit about Caesar. They didn't know shit about the real Caesar.
No, you have to understand. Like they're up there, like doing the eggs, and like when it starts, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Like they're having this whole conversation. Like you always leave one that is ape law, and I was like, is every other world watching them? Like, what the fuck are they doing? Like,
I'm just like, bro, like you got Noah and his girl and like the third wheel ape, and like they're doing their thing. But then the next nest has like 4 apes. Like we could have cut like 45 seconds off of this movie if they just would have went to the 4 egg nest first.
Yeah, it's just like, the apes are really dumb. These are the dumbest apes. Learn their shit. But it's like, I like it. It's gonna end up being kind of like a chosen one narrative, like Harry Potter, like Star Wars, like The Matrix, where it's like random guy ends up toppling.
If it ain't broke.
But yeah, if it ain't broke, exactly. It's like this is the Hunger Games. This is the Maze Runner. It's anything. It's like just the one little guy, and it's like, yeah, they picked the most random ass monkey. I think that's why he kind of looks like Caesar. And it's like, well, he kind of just looks like a monkey. Like he looks like every monkey. They're like, let's do him, that one. And yeah, I think like we said, like the performances were great. Owen Teague, I think I don't even know he was playing the monkey until like the last week.
He's just the dude from It that kept playing with the lighter.
He kept and here he had tits. That's all I can picture him like in the thing called him.
Hey, y'all know something? I hope there's an actor. He's been around forever, and he's Kevin in Durant. 2 good movies. Kevin Durant. He's
in 2 great movies right now.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
and like, look at it.
Nobody's gonna know he's in this because it's mocap. Nobody's gonna know he's in this.
But that's a shame.
And then like give it a couple more months. Like everybody's gonna forget how fun Abigail was.
And that Good Morning America, I guess that's that show with him on it and them and
he was wilding, bro. I didn't know he walked up on Michael Strahan like that.
Yeah. And Michael Strahan ain't no slouching, but look how big Kevin Durant is over. You realize how big of a dude he is.
Man, I know like I'm the only one that heard it, but I swear sometimes when he had his dialogue, I heard James Earl Jones.
Somebody, who was it? I can't remember.
Like, when he faded into that Proximus Caesar voice, I'm like, this is not Kevin Durant.
Somebody asked me, it was like, is that James Earl Jones? And I was like, I'm pretty sure it was not.
Okay. And what if he pops up in Deadpool as the Blob for like just one scene?
Please, God, I'm begging you. He's been around.
I mean, they're not
so long though. Like he's been doing stuff. I didn't even realize until years.
I know what you're about to say, Nick. I know what you're about to say.
Dude, butterfly effect.
He was the Mexican.
Why?
The Mexican.
The butterfly. Why didn't they get a real
right?
Hey, bro, like they was in that Rob Schneider school of casting for the butterfly effect.
Yeah, like what the fuck is that? But he was good because I had no idea. In like a Saturday Live kind of way, I was like, why the fuck would he have played that role? But anyway, I saw somebody like Abigail, like Letterboxd reviews and like Twitter blurbs were coming out, and somebody was like, one of them movie Twitter people was like, he's so good in this. I need him to be in 100 things now. And I was like
he's in 100 things.
He already has been.
Yeah, I have got news for you. He's been doing it forever. Every different kind of role. He's the dude who shot Michael B. Jordan in
Fruitvale Station.
Yeah.
And it was, he's so good. It's like he shows up and it's like, yep, okay, he's good.
And it's like until very recent.
Yeah. These fucking teenagers who don't watch anything before they became aware of movies.
Yeah.
Of course, my favorite movie, Smoking Aces. He was one of the brothers.
He's in 310 to Yuma. His first movie was Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me.
Yes.
That's a good start right there. That is a great start.
In The Spy Who Shagged Me, when Austin is with like the Robin, which is it, baby? Spits and swallows. He busts out the bazooka.
Yeah, that is him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Smoking Aces, 310 to Yuma.
Like,
X-Men Origins,
like
Robin Hood. He's in going back to Ridley Scott. He's in Robin Hood.
And
Real
my
Steel.
TV show. I don't know if y'all ever got into it. I stuck with this show forever. Lost.
yeah,
He did
He's in Lost.
episodes of Lost.
he was Little John.
He was in Swamp Thing.
He was in Wild Hogs.
Haven't you ever seen Wild Hogs?
In Wild Hogs. He was really funny, actually.
Wait, how old is he? He got to be like 50, right?
Like 50. They want him to.
Looking at it right now. He's born in
He is 50.
1974.
So 50.
Yep.
Oh, ahead.
He is 50.
They want him to play Elon Musk in like a thing. And yeah, he should do that. I think that's his award
casting.
Because he kind of looks like him.
And the scene where he decides to name his kid a fucking algebra equation will be what wins him the Oscar.
Yeah, it's like put him in a TV show, one of those TV shows or a movie, something. He can do it. He was in Robin Hood with Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
So how do we?
But it's cool that he's.
Go ahead.
What's up, Jay?
No, I'm just saying it's cool that he just had a lot of actors just disappear, but he's been consistent, but he's just not a star.
This is a character actor.
Right.
Yeah.
I just remember reading that. She was like, I need to see him in a million more things. And I was like, bro, I've got news for you.
Right.
Okay. He's like the sixth man of acting. Like he's like the man who Ginobili of acting.
Yeah.
Like he never made the starting squad, but like he's been in some great stuff.
His name is eerily similar to a starter, to an Olympian, to a guy that went to Golden State. He's just never been the face of the movie.
Speaking of him, I kind of want to steer the conversation of how do we feel towards Proximus Caesar as a villain? How does he rank? Like, what was your overall takeaway? Was he good? Was he serviceable? Was he just like a stepping stone for the next movie? Like, what are our thoughts? Like, obviously, Koba is like, in my opinion, it's like Koba, then Woody Harrelson, and everybody else kind of like falls underneath that. But is he on par
those
with
are tall
Woody
orders,
Harrelson?
yeah.
But like, I loved that final fight though. Like Noah's getting his ass whooped, and then like harkens back to like his dad, and then he just wins. Like I thought it was dope. Like that's what kind of like gave it that extra half star to me.
It was good. Like a lot of the posters center around him. Kingdom
that's
of
what I was thinking.
And like he's the king. So I'm thinking, I'm like, that's cool. He lived up to like cool as shit on the poster. And I was like, he was cool.
I showed all you guys my backdrop for my YouTube review, and then like after my review, I'm like, bro, like all these are Caesar, and then I got the villain for Kingdom. Like that's Proximus Caesar.
It's cool. Like
I want to know it's a very good poster.
Where it's like, I don't know if they necessarily live up to being the face of the movie, but it's like when Darth Maul was in the movie, was he cool as shit? It's like, yeah, he was. He was.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah.
Was he cool as fucking shit? He kind of was Proximus. He was pretty cool. And like, he was like the king. Like he had everybody else doing the work and like making the jokes.
And like, bro, when they couldn't open the ship, he was like, "Oh, y'all weak. Fuck you guys."
Yeah, he's like, "We'll try tomorrow."
A wonderful day.
The scene where May first pulls out the gun and shoots the ape who's about to kill Noah's love interest. He kind of he's like lurking behind her.
He's hiding.
He's very intelligent.
Yeah,
he's not as intelligent as Noah, but he's got like, oh, I see what you got there. That's a weapon.
I had the loudest giggle.
He was weaselly enough to know what he had to do to survive.
Yeah. I had the loudest giggle when he asked, like, do you have another one of those?
That was like some Pennywise-esque shit.
Yeah. He was like the Megatron. If we're comparing him to villains, fuck Transformers. Let me say that first.
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
Like he's like the big guy, but he's not really. Like when you look, it's like
he was like a tier above serviceable, like you said. Like he wasn't Koba, he wasn't Woody Harrelson, but he wasn't a throwaway villain.
Good. He was good. Yeah, the more I'm thinking, and like with the performance as well, it's like it served what it needed to serve. Yes. Not necessarily Koba. Koba had to be a pain in the ass. Like Koba had to be like this giant.
Yeah.
But
Koba was in 2 movies. He was in 3 movies, but he was actually only in 2. His spirit lived on and haunted the apes so much
Yeah.
in war that he was
Yes.
still a presence.
because it was like,
So
was
like
he-
it's
But it was
it's
like-
like Koba is like the top. Koba's the top.
yeah,
But like
Mhm.
Koba was fine, like laying the groundwork for Koba in Rise, where he was like writing David Oyelowo's name and giving him the stare down and getting tortured, like giving him his motivations for Dawn. Man,
it's great.
Yeah.
man, those first 3 movies are so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time, like when I think back to Rise, it's like I gave it a 4. Like I was like, Rise is a solid 4. It's not as.
No.
Then I think back and I'm like the things that get you excited, and I'm like, was it as good as
Yeah.
this?
There's this
Fucking hell.
There's an
What-
ultimate question I want to ask all y'all. Not based on our opinion. We seem to have a collective agreement. And I'm gonna send y'all a video. Just in the general consensus of movies, these movies are really underrated in the true sense. If you think about it, even though they're hits,
Yes.
they're not quite cult, but they're not as respected as they should be, as talked
like-
about.
They're not in the zeitgeist conversation the way some other movies. Like
Twitter decided whether they're cults or not.
yeah,
But like to me, Rise, Dawn, War, all 5s, firewall 5s. But if you say Rise isn't a 5, cool, whatever. Dawn and War are fucking 5s.
Yeah.
They're so fucking good.
Dawn is like Dawn and War. Like rewatching them, I'm like, this is like better than it was in my head. And in my head, I remember thinking this were like great.
Really
Like-
good.
like- I don't know.
And it's like the details, like Caesar gets a little more gray in every movie. It's like the burden and like being that guy,
Yeah.
carrying that weight. You see it every next movie, what he's been through.
Take much to
all
take.
the way
Like,
up until his literal last breath in the franchise, in the movie. Like he just like
And
it
it's
was like time for him to go. It was a beautiful
I said it in
farewell.
my review for Kingdom. The handling of Caesar is like the best thing that the 20th century studio has ever done. But it's just like from him like getting the GX 1312 or whatever it is, all the way up to that memorial at the beginning of Kingdom. The character of Caesar was just handled so fucking well.
Well, I miss him. That's like because it started out with him like they were burning him. I was like, oh, I miss my guy. I'm gonna miss-
I want to talk about the beginning of this movie because like I was super skeptical. Okay, so minus the burial of Caesar, like they said farewell to him, they lit him on fire, then they put their hands up, apes stronger together, or whatever. But when it first jumps to Noah and his friends, like I picked up heavy Avatar vibes, and I was like super skeptical. I was like, man, I don't know about this movie. I don't know where they're gonna go. The vibe just feels completely different from everything else. But once they got past that first initial like introduction to the characters, I was like, this is fantastic. Like this is it was heavy Avatar vibes.
I get you. That's funny.
Just from the way that it was shot, like the world building, I was like, this is like heavy Avatar. Like it felt heavily inspired or influenced by
that's
Avatar.
I would
Yeah.
say if they should
Not
just
no.
do that with everything. Like if they're doing Alien, they're gonna keep doing Predator. If that's their goal, it's like remember when you did Avatar a couple years ago, and it was huge and it was awesome and everyone loved it. Try to do that. And if that's what
Every
they're
big box franchise.
like, you're doing a Mandalorian movie here in like a year. That sounds stupid. But if you make it like Avatar, try to do that. I'd be like, okay.
So
Let's-
like
Maybe
I'm
they'll-
assuming like the whole egg thing was like what's the a bar mitzvah or like a quinceañera. The whole egg thing was like a becoming an adult ceremony.
Yeah.
it was like the thing in
Yeah.
Canada where like
Are
you
we
walk-
guessing because we never got to it?
Yeah. It's something, yeah. It was like their version of
Yeah.
But I'm telling that hippie culture, bruh.
Out here hugging trees and shit.
what are you doing?
Hugging trees and shit.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Egg, like eat those. It's like what? Like no, dude, I
Yo,
promise those. They're so good.
like that shit was dope too, because like they had their own terminology for humans, and then when Raka links up with Noah, it's like, bro, like they're humans. Like they're looking at the illustrations and shit on the wall. Like, bro, they're
Also,
humans.
something that I caught and no one
They
has.
fucked up, and that's why we smart.
I've not read it in a review. I've not read it in anything. Raka was gay. That was his man burning thing.
You might be onto something.
No,
Elaborate.
But I'm surprised no one has caught it and like been like, oh,
Raka was gay.
Raka was gay living with him.
It's the Last of Us. It's the Last of Us vibes. What's the guy's name? The character
Offerman.
Guys, because he was.
But
like,
he was
I haven't watched the Last of Us yet, but I know Nick Offerman was a gay dude.
Yeah.
So Noah when the characters first meet, Noah's like, oh, they murdered my entire clan, and Raka was like, that's my clan right there. That man right there was my entire existence. Like that's him right there.
Like,
so I think you might be onto something there.
It was gay. We had a gay ape, which is fine. But
not that there's anything wrong with that.
No.
He saw all these humans out there just like drinking water out of the river. He was like, you know what? I'm gonna raise these motherfuckers. Like these are my babies. I'm gonna raise them. I think you might be right.
Percent. He was the woman. He was a mother. Like Rock. I'm surprised.
Hey,
Lord.
You gotta hit that Seinfeld though. You gotta hit that Seinfeld. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Great. But I caught it immediately. He was like, he was my clan. That was my man right there. And I was like,
hey.
I've known you for 10 seconds. But yeah, he was like, he had to burn him. And it's like, they showed up, killed his husband. And now he has to go and live. And we have gay apes.
You gotta find a purpose.
Gapes.
Pause. Really?
Dude,
pause, eject, rewind, tracking.
A hashtag Gapes. Oh my god.
Hashtag
no
Gapes.
one has
Planet of the Gapes.
Brought it up. Like I haven't seen anybody been like, wow, just before you take your children to Kingdom of the Apes, just
Oh, it's
go.
coming.
No goofball comes out.
Just like Lightyear.
Somebody-
like Lightyear.
Wow. Woke apes.
No,
I can't
please
believe
don't.
there was woke apes. There were gay apes.
They
Kingdom
didn't-
of the Gapes.
He died because of woke. But yeah, Raka.
Of course
I
they're
bet
woke. It's Disney.
I liked Raka. I miss him.
Yeah.
That was mom's big takeaway. She was like, I wish he'd have lived.
That's what I'm saying. Like I think the effects of Raka are going to affect Noah in the sequels.
Yeah. Because he's like,
Because he's gonna have that Caesar mentality in the back of his head. Because that's what he was telling. That's what he was telling May at the end. Like, should I be like Caesar? Should we be cool? Even though she was strapped, she was ready for whatever.
They are circling back. Like, if that is the goal, if that's the end game, there has to be more tension between apes and humans. There has to be somebody who is like, fuck you.
But that's what I'm saying. If Noah says, fuck Caesar, I'm gonna go my own path, then that's where the tension with the humans could come in.
It's like eventually they're just gonna be like, Noah, what's your last name? And he's gonna be like, I'm Noah Zaius. I'm a doctor. And then it's gonna be like, wow, you're
Yeah.
Noah Zaius.
Zach's
This is interesting. Go ahead.
third worst villain of the series. Even though I don't know, people would consider him a villain. He was a bitch. He was definitely a villain. He was a antagonist to Charlton Heston in his way the whole movie, just in the way, like a
Fuck yeah.
Fuck Dr. Zaius. People
he's the one that knew what the apes that went back and escaped. He's the one that knew all that lore. He knew. He was the antagonist.
You knew they were fucking mind people under the ground. You fucking weird doctor. You knew they were
those eggplant looking motherfuckers.
Sucks. Escape is good. Conquest is really good. I think Conquest is super underrated.
I think that's the most underrated Conquest. That's my father's favorite Apes.
So good. It was better than I even remember. I'd seen it like, a couple times in my life. But then watching it in the context of the new ones, it was like, dude, this is really like the backbone to the trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
And rewatching
I
was like, this movie rules. This is like what Planet of the Apes is in my head. Is that like revolting against the humans is more.
I was looking at like Escape, Conquest, Battle, like they all mirrored like Rise, Dawn, and War. Those mirrored the originals.
Also kind of underrated. I think it's like Battle isn't like extremely well made. It's kind of like a schlocky. It's schlockier, kind of like more of just a silly sci-fi, but like it's a good movie. But it's not held in high regard. But I think it's like if they'd have put like another coat of paint, like it really, there's like interesting ideas with it. Like
10 movies in this franchise, I don't necessarily think there's a bad movie
but it's like you get so deep into the war with the humans that it's like you aren't even looking at your own apes. Like you're not even looking at like your apes are the savages that like killed your son. And it's like it's too late now. Like you're too far gone into this war to do anything about it. I was like, that's really cool. It's not as great a movie as the last couple.
Yeah.
But I think it's underrated. Beneath to me, like I watch Beneath and I'm like, good Lord. Like what were they smoking writing this movie? But like there's good things in a way that a lot of movies are not interesting.
Yeah.
Like you look at a lot of like sequels and it's like, Jesus.
Let's see, Planet was Roddy McDowell. He was not in. He was only in 4.
He was in the first one as like the husband.
It's Cornelius.
Then he was in the third one as the husband, and then he was Caesar in the last.
In 2, yeah.
And he was
played
great.
Different characters about the franchise.
And if you look at him as the face of the franchise instead of Charlton Heston, it makes a lot more sense. He should have, because he was great.
The face of Planet of the Apes and the face of Fright Night.
Yes. 2 of like, oh yeah, and he was in A Bug's Life. But yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
And then he passed away.
He passed away.
Passed away. Are you
hungry? What's everybody's ratings of the Kingdom out of 5? We'll keep it letterbox.
I went 4.5.
I gave it a solid 4. I was like, it's as good as Rise. Maybe not quite as exciting as Rise, but it's Rise.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's the same logic.
Exact same thing.
If I go 5, if Rise, Dawn, War, I give all 5s. This one's just a little less than that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it was not. It was a half star down from Dawn, and I don't give 5s. It's
historically
a solid 4. Solid
Cornelius, Caesar. Yeah, like
Roddy McDowell
played 2 different characters in that original run.
Yeah,
twice.
Awesome.
And that's like there's so like the new movies have so many callbacks to those original 5s between Nova and Caesar. Like it's so dope.
Yes. I didn't read that probably like in 2011. Like I was like, oh, this is a new thing. Because I can remember seeing Rise in the theater and everyone freaking out when he talked. I can remember it. Everyone in the theater was
I remember that.
And it's like, yes, this is good actually.
I remember seeing that I think 3 times in the theaters. I remember. Y'all remember the conversation Caesar was having with Maurice and they were talking in the signing? I remember because it was weird because everybody was murmuring because I don't know how it happened. The subtitles weren't there. The first time I saw it, I thought it was a creative decision.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I thought it was just like an emotional.
Chicago? Is this Seattle?
It's Chicago.
A bad got shipped to either Chicago or Seattle.
It's Chicago, definitely. It did. I don't know how it happened, but
that happened a couple weeks ago. I was watching Kill Bill with my friend. We were watching Kill Bill Volume 2, and Pai Mei started, and there were no subtitles. And for the life of me, I was like, there's subtitles here. Like
Yeah.
there's and it was I looked it up and it was a Netflix thing. Like if you don't turn the subtitles on, they aren't
Yeah.
there.
That's true.
I was like, holy shit, Netflix sucks.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, yeah.
Uh
I'm
but
telling you, like, if it's not a King Arthur situation, Guy Ritchie's King Arthur that had like 6 planned sequels, I'm in the middle of making a drink. If
Randy,
Disney stick to this like 5-movie plan, one of these upcoming sequels is just gonna start, and you're gonna see George Taylor getting into a rocket. But it's gonna be like obviously a modern day actor and all that shit.
Mm.
to me, Austin Butler.
Yeah, there you go, people.
Yeah,
Make
it's
sure
gonna
you
be
don't
Austin
show
Butler.
that.
It's gonna be Miles Teller. It's gonna be one of these young up and coming guys.
Yeah.
Fucking
But I can
Timothy
remember,
Chalamet.
I can remember seeing Rise in the theater, right? I was with my girlfriend, and for some reason, I was with her sister and whoever her sister was dating. Now, in my head,
How nasty.
in my head, her sister was on a first date, but I don't think it was a first date because that's insane. Like, to me, that's nuts. Like, why would you go on your first date?
From a first date.
But I can remember seeing Rise, thinking it was great, and then we walked out and talked about it. And her date really, really thought it was connected to the Tim Burton movie. Like he thought that Maurice was Paul Giamatti. Like 100%. He was like, because you look and it's kind of the same ape. And I was like, I don't think
all
so.
orangutans look like that.
Like I was like, I'm
yeah,
pretty.
this is the species.
Bro,
and he was just like, I don't know.
Raka looks like that.
I was like, dude, I think it's been 10 years. We've all grown since Tim Burton.
Literally.
We're all older. We're all wiser. I don't think this is that. I think this is his own thing.
Yeah, how did that even make sense to him? I'm curious.
No, he 100%. I remember. I can see him saying it and being like,
so
I don't think that's
Nick
right.
is what 32 right now, so he was probably about 20-ish at the time.
Or in like a month.
I see the logic.
I'm 34. I'm 33 in like 3/4.
2 months. 2 months, because Eric literally just turned 56.
Thanks. You're killing me, man.
Well, this shit.
Wait, ain't no way.
Oh, you killing me.
50.
No way.
Killing me, Smalls.
I've never watched the Planet of the Apes TV show. I know there's an animated series. I've never watched that.
I'm
not canon.
Series.
There's a lot of comic book spin-offs, tie-ins to like Marvel and DC. I want to believe. I'm pretty sure Green Lantern has a comic book run tied into Planet of the Apes. So there's a lot of Planet of the Apes folklore for sure. Actually,
like
right
that
here.
That was like that.
I'm just still on Raka was gay.
He was.
I got.
They were happy.
Oh wow, look at that.
Oh, that's fire.
These are newer.
That one in the front looked like Full Metal Jacket. That is cold blooded.
That's sick.
Yeah.
They're based off the Matt Reeves and
that's what I work in. And you see that dude, it says Ape Killer on his helmet.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
If I was there, I would do some shit like that if I was on the human.
Mm.
Like,
but they also
Apes in like the 55 years it's been around, it is kind of like that franchise. Like somebody said, it was like this is tracking for 50-some million. It's like they're the quiet.
22 just on Friday.
It's like they're quiet. Damn. How much did?
22 just on Friday. Obviously, that includes like Thursday night pre-shows, but I feel like that's a great opening.
On it. And it's like that, but they said like in the tweet, they were like, this is the fandom that moves quietly. They don't make a spectacle of themselves. And like, I love that. Like, yeah, I'm a fan. And like, I sit and talk about it all the time. Like I would like Star Wars or some bullshit. But like when it comes out, I'm there. I'm seated.
Yo, like, man, I feel like you're not going to remember, Jake, but like, the Burton movie came out in that wave where like me and you were like at the movies all the time. Like, did we hit like Cherry Tree or Eastgate and go see the Burton movie?
I can't remember, man. I honestly do not remember seeing that in theaters. I don't.
I don't either. Because I know,
I
I don't remember
like
seeing that in theaters.
I tagged along on that Colorado trip with you like the month before, and we either hit Fast and Furious or Tomb Raider. I don't remember
It
which
was Tomb
one.
Raider. It was Tomb Raider for sure. It was
Was it
Tomb
Tomb
Raider
Raider?
for sure. We saw that. And that little
That's
small
horrible.
ass movie theater. It looked like a living. It
Yeah.
looked like somebody's living room.
That's a bad
Wow.
choice. You had the choice between.
Dude, I wish I knew if like somebody dragged me to Movies 8 or like I hit it with my grandma. Like I want to know if I saw the Burton movie in the theater.
I don't think I did, man. I don't think I did. I think the first time I saw it was a DVD. Like honestly, I think the first time I saw it was DVD.
If
You
I
guys
can
don't
claim
remember
seeing
every
the Burton movie in the
theater?
theater, I've seen 5 straight Apes movies in the theater, like every Apes movie in my lifetime. But I don't know for sure.
You don't remember every movie you've seen in the theater?
There's
No.
no way. I don't remember.
Oh, I did.
No.
I can like you name a movie and it's like I can tell you if I saw it in the theater because it was such a huge thing until I was an adult and then just started doing it myself. Like holy shit, I can go see this.
See, like, I know
It
I saw
depends, though,
Kindergarten
because
Cop.
there's-
I know I saw Secret of the Ooze. When like I know when me and Jake first started kicking it, like elementary school, we saw one of the Star Wars re-releases, special editions.
So late 90s.
Yeah. I don't know every movie.
I don't remember.
I want to say it was Return of the Jedi.
I was
It might have
seven,
been Empire.
I was 7 when that happened. When the special editions came.
Because I'm watching the Phantom Menace at the theater last weekend. Like, fuck, like which movie did I see with Jake at the theater?
So you were
I can't
thinking at
remember.
the time, instead of paying attention to it and giving it a high.
Hey, I'm not gonna hold you. Last weekend, if it wasn't the pod race or that lightsaber battle, I was kind of zoning out.
No,
That's why I give that bitch a 2.5.
Oh no.
No, it's at least
And
a-
like Eric put up a review for the Phantom Menace on Letterboxd. It's not the worst Star Wars movie, and I'm like, bro, it kind of
is not.
Have you seen Rise of
Better
Skywalker?
Attack of the Clones.
It is not. It is better than Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones is the worst to y'all. Y'all like Rise of Skywalker? That piece of
I don't
Watch-
hate Rise of
I
Skywalker.
didn't hate it. I didn't hate it.
Man,
I don't hate
somehow,
I am
man.
not a Star Wars fan. I am not. Randy
It's
will
like-
tell you, like I like
Yeah.
Star Wars, but I'm not like a fan by any means.
Jake
Like,
might have Rogue
I
One as his
enjoy
best
them.
Star Wars movie of all time.
Yeah,
He's
sure.
not-
I enjoy them. I appreciate them, but like, I didn't feel like it was like that bad.
I get
Yeah.
about Star Wars, and before I even think like, was it good? Like Rise of Skywalker, it's like you said, it's like that was a piece of shit. But like my immediate reaction is like, hey, watch your fucking mouth. That's Star Wars. That's Han Solo. That's Luke Skywalker's legacy. And then I'm like, wait, that's not. It really wasn't that good. But then I'm like, my first immediate thing is like, no, fuck you. Attack of the Clones is great. Fuck you, Yoda.
It's like this.
but then
The
it's
scale
like,
I put it on. What's in Rise of Skywalker that I would rather watch over Yoda fighting with a lightsaber and the pod chase at the beginning of that movie?
the dead speak. Palpatine, somehow he returned.
And that's why I don't want to watch that shit.
Some way. he returned.
Somehow. Thank you. You got paid $2 million to write that.
But like,
I haven't watched that movie in 4.5
it's still a Disney
It
franchise.
does kind of hate to not be.
Apes is a Disney franchise. Star Wars is a Disney franchise. We're still 10% on topic.
It's in there.
Yeah.
10%.
I want it that we're still
Yeah.
clinging on to 50 years after it came out.
Yeah.
So I guess, and like just to kind of bring this full circle, wrap it all up. Where do we think the next Apes movie goes? What are you guys' thoughts?
Title. Like I would like what possibly like they have to like expand. They have to world build.
Yeah.
Okay, a sidebar.
They don't do all those
Can we
satellites and
stop?
shit
Can we
to
stop?
not.
Can we stop?
Yeah,
Can we stop with
they
that?
put in place something. Yeah.
Can we stop with the extra long names? Can we just call them Kingdom? Can we just call it Rise? Can we just call it Dawn? Can we just
Oh,
call
you
it
got to put
War?
the
It's
apes
like,
in the title.
No,
oh man,
No.
it's like too much.
It's going to be.
I was like,
It's going
I'm
to
like
be
Googling,
blank.
I'm like typing
Planet
all
of
these
the
words.
Apes.
I'm like, what the
it needs to be
Yeah.
something. The Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Be like Fall
Bruh.
of the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Let's
Add
see. Yeah,
Of
Rise,
the Planet of the Apes.
Dawn, War.
Intercontinental
just-
Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
I'm just curious where they're going to take part 2 of the next chapter because I
I
don't
mean,
know.
Jake, if your
Like,
theory comes true, the third movie in this new trilogy is going to be Universe of the Planet of the
Yeah.
Apes.
Yeah.
they have to tie that in at some point because I'm telling you, man, in that first reboot movie, it was on purpose. It was on purpose. There's no way it was accidental, like a throwaway. They panned to the TV screen and it showed people going up in space,
Yeah.
rocket launching, like whatever. They did that for a reason. It has to come back around. It has to come back around.
That's what. Like, there's been multiple fucking franchises. Like, there's 3 different movies called Halloween. There's other movies, multiple franchises that have the exact same title. They're gonna end this shit with the movie called Planet of the Apes, and it's going to tie back around.
And it's like of
That'll
all
be.
multiverse bullshit that we've had.
And I hope they don't do that. I
Last-
hope they don't fall into this like Marvel
But it's like
type of.
if none of that existed, it would make perfect sense to do that with Planet of the Apes with all the timey-wimey wormhole they got floating up there. To have it all come together somehow would make perfect sense. I hope they don't do that.
It's like
I hope they don't.
I'm sure somebody is.
War was predominantly in snow. We got a cool visual effects apes covered in water in the third act of Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
I just want them to go like in, just do it in another country. Like apes speaking another language. Like we're already in subtitles.
We need
Like take it to
clothes.
China, Australia, Africa, whatever.
No, that's
That'd
a
be
spinoff.
so
That's
cool.
That's a spinoff. I would say
No,
I like
'cause
that
they're doing the
idea.
satellites.
Appreciate that. idea.
I don't want them to spin off apes to death either. Like
No.
I don't. I'm sure there's somebody up there like
I
how
wouldn't be mad at it.
Yeah.
If they're
I'd be mad at it.
communicating,
every that now.
like let's say Kingdom was still in San Francisco. They contacted Fort Wayne, Indiana, so they can contact wherever the fuck.
whoever they were talking to, yeah, like it's like, yeah, I want to get to the point eventually where like apes are wearing clothes. Like we got to go somewhere. They're
Yeah.
wearing armor and shit.
At the
Or
very
someone
least,
wearing Texas.
or like what you
Texas.
said. At the very least, they don't have to have an outline exactly. I would imagine they at least have an idea of where they want the trilogy to go.
Yes. Because that was the problem with that Star Wars trilogy.
Yes,
They didn't have
and
a
that's
3
why.
movie
And
plot.
you had 2 directors literally fighting each other through movies.
So like let Wes Ball be the captain of wherever they go, 5 more movies, 3 more movies, whatever they do. Have an
Yeah.
idea of where the story ends.
It'd be nice. It'd be nice if, like, you know, like Zack Snyder. I'm not like a Snyder cultist. He had an idea. He went in with the DC, like he was like, I've got an arc idea of like, I'm gonna start this
Here,
with-
Walter Hamada, fuck it all up.
here. And they were like, dude, totally, you're the man, you're awesome. And then he
Yeah.
did 2 movies, and they were like, so you actually suck, and we're not gonna do any of that. And like that sucks. So hope we can get to that point where we tread light, and it's like, okay, this is the second one. This worked. We're gonna do this third one now, and if that's good, then we can talk about doing 3 more. Not like Transformers, where we're just keep fucking making them. And what are they?
like
Why are
in
they here?
Transformers defense? Bumblebee and Rise of the Beast seem to have a
They're pretty good.
trajectory.
Yeah, not bad.
Everything post Michael Bay is on the uptick.
Not bad. Yeah, which is at least 2 of the Michael Bay movies. I'd be like, yeah, that's bad.
And the trailer for this animated one looks good.
I liked it. I liked it more
Yeah.
than the average person that seems to love the Bay movies liked it. Like, I don't know. I've got no nostalgia.
And
for that.
like
That's
we're
an
completely off track now, but Chris
fuck.
Hemsworth is Optimus Prime, and Brian Tyree Henry is Megatron. It's so good.
Yeah, but they will. I imagine because y'all heard of Wes Ball what his pitch was, right?
No,
No, I Kingdom.
Wes Ball, he said the movie.
His pitch was a home run.
Well, yeah, hell yeah, he hit it out the
Looking
park.
at it now,
but his pitch to the studio was a Apocalypto with apes.
That's a sports reference.
Apocalypto.
Say what?
It was kind of Apocalypto Apes.
Yeah, that's how he got. That was his pitch, basically.
I like. I would have creamed my jeans over that in a boardroom. I'd been,
they gave him the money, so they must have loved it.
Here's $1 million. Do that.
Yeah.
Apocalypto Apes.
Yep. They went Netflix on him. Like, here, take money, do it.
Damn it! I was gonna do Mad Men Apes. It's like, no, we're not. We're doing Waterworld Apes. Apocalypto Apes. That's where we are now.
Good.
We're doing Indiana farming apes.
Yeah.
Oh man.
They're out here growing corn in Indiana, part 2.
But we see he said it's tracking real well, and it's probably going to be the second biggest opening of the year.
Yeah, we need to get to the point that like living their own lives, like maybe not. They're not part of a clan or part of like a
domestication of the Planet of the Apes.
Oh, tell me this! I'm surprised none of us
like this is the only life I know. This is my.
Do planet. They bring? Because there's not a lot of. Well, I guess the human characters aren't recurring throughout the.
That's what I was going to say. Is May going to be a character in the next
probably
movie?
Not.
It depends on the time. Because like War was kind of right after Dawn, but it's not like Jason Clarke or anybody came back. So it just depends on the time gap.
I don't need May to come back. I think she served her purpose in this movie. Right. Like, this is the average human to Noah now. He's going to look at a human. Remember how she was kind of a...
All right. And she's not even vital to the people, the satellite people, whoever the hell they are.
She delivered the chip, the device, and served her purpose.
She was vital to the human race. She was super vital to the human race.
And now she served her purpose, like I think they said.
It was like the door opened or whatever. And it was like the hottest woman I've ever seen. And it like gave the message. Is she in the next one? This is important. This is important.
Yo, but like the relationship between Noah and May was so fire though, because it's like they was on the same page. She pulled out the gun and he was giving her the look like bro, what the fuck are you doing? Man.
Yeah.
Where did Nick go?
Well, we'll see. We'll see. How far apart are the I guess the Reeves and what's the name? Rise and Dawn and
War says that War is.
I mean, as far as literally, as in the release dates.
Oh, 11, 14, 17. That's what I said
on my
YouTube review. That.
Oh, so about 3 years.
By 27, I think we get the next Apes by 27.
I think we'll get it before that. I mean,
hopefully,
in terms of like Hollywood, it makes sense that 3 years apart, probably, But I hope they take like the Lord of the Rings approach, where it was like every December. Like I don't think that's the case because they probably would have announced it by then.
By now. Well, remember they filmed the Lord of the Rings at the same time, so that's why they did that.
Yeah, that's a fact. Peter Jackson filmed all 3 movies together. That was
sense,
a plan.
That was.
Yeah,
I love that.
Why the extended editions aren't as good?
Love that.
Because they added shit that they didn't even need to add.
Oh, you're trying to make this podcast another hour now.
I could do this all day. But
on the flip side of filming all that shit together, I'm pretty sure that's what Rennie Harlan doing with these Strangers movies.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say because I heard there's two Strangers movies, right? Oh, there's three.
So no, thank God.
No, wait, not including the original, right? Not including the original or including the original?
Just the one that comes out next week, and then there's 2 more.
Oh, okay. I thought there was 2 more. Yeah, I heard that exact same thing, and I was going to say I feel like I heard somewhere that they shot all of these in like sequence, and it depends on how well this new one does when they're going to release the next one. I heard some people saying like it could come out in December or some shit like that. I was like, what?
I heard 2 was September, October, and I heard 3 was early next year.
That is insane. That's
I
wild.
hate that.
Yeah.
I hate
Yeah.
it so much. I hate that more than anything in life.
But I hate
Why do
if they're
we-
going the origin of the strangers, that's trash.
Fuck that. Yeah, that's the whole point.
Yes.
We're on
Because
air.
you were
We don't
home.
need-
It's a random act of violence.
Yeah, that's the whole point of the original is that it's just like, yeah, fuck you. We're here. You're here. So that sucks for you.
Is
Like-
camera home?
For how they
I can't wait to see. I can't wait to watch that new one though. I cannot wait.
Camera's
To watch
not
Camera
home,
home?
but we're
Say
still gonna
no.
fuck with you.
but I don't care. Anyway,
I can't.
discover how Proximus became the Proximus. I don't really care. It's
Right.
years.
I would like that. I would
I'd be
I would
better.
like I would like
like
a
it.
parallel movie of why
Nope.
he caught the ego
Not a
of
movie.
why
Not a
he became
movie.
into power. It's
Not a
not.
movie. Maybe-
Disney Plus.
Maybe a
Interesting.
book. Maybe a book because they did the same thing with the first three movies. There were I don't know if you guys noticed there were two books that were smashed in between those movies. Like you had to be really you had to be tuned in to read those books or whatever. It was like some nerd shit. But there was two books in between those movies. There was a comic book series. So like I would be for a Proximus origin, but not a movie.
Not a
Not
movie. Yeah.
Give us
Somebody
a
at Disney
book. Give
Plus
us a
right
give us
now
a
is trying
give us
to
a
do it.
9-book comic series run. Like I would consume that. I would buy it. I would indulge in that,
I
but
would
not a movie.
consume
Not a
that.
movie.
Somebody at Disney Plus right now is like trying to pitch some Apes
Straight
movie.
up, they're like, oh,
They're looking at these
Oh.
like bad Apes.
They in the last week,
Fuck you.
or whatever, they said a Steve Rogers series about him returning the Infinity Stones. They're definitely trying to milk some kind of Apes subsidiary linear story.
They're looking at something other than Star Wars and Marvel. It's like, what else do we have? And they'd be like, there's some assholes
shit.
sitting like,
Yeah, Fox has Apes, Fox has Predator, Fox has Alien. What
Yeah.
about those?
they're
Yeah,
like,
they
bad
don't.
ape TV show, bad ape TV show, and it's like, no,
Hey.
like I am Groot, but it's bad ape.
Yeah.
Fuck
Would
you.
Steve
Here-
Zahn be
here's a
down?
check. Go make it. Fuck
Yeah.
you. Call Steve Zahn. God damn it.
No,
God
please
damn.
no.
What about what happened to Nova afterward?
Yeah, it'll be a show about a human girl.
Yeah, well, I hope they learned their lesson, but
What
No.
about
easy.
what about Noah and his friends as a prequel show?
What was his friend's name? Anaya? I didn't give a
Yeah.
When
shit
does the
about him.
next Avatar movie comes out next year? So speaking of Avatar and 20th Century Studios,
It's still
Yeah.
Fox. Just like X is still Twitter, 20th Century still Fox.
yeah,
I'll give them 20th Century Studios. Like I'll give it like they did Prey. Prey kicked that. Like
Prey was
Avatar,
super
Way of
good.
Water-
Hell yeah.
It was so good.
Prey
I don't think
kicked
those are
ass.
dead.
Way of Water kicked ass. This kicked ass. Alien Romulus, I have no reason
Looks
to believe
fire.
it won't kick ass. All the elements are there for that to absolutely rule. So
Hell
I'm
yeah.
like, they're
The only bad thing
doing
about
it.
Alien Romulus is I gotta rewatch 3 and Resurrection.
Resurrection.
You lucky
wasn't that
dog.
bad.
Resurrection.
It's poop. Alien
It's
Resurrection
goofy.
is dookie.
I put it
I'm
like this:
actually-
Basketball, baby.
it's entertainingly terrible. I put it
Yo,
like
I
that.
like
The-
it
the
more than
year-
3.
The year is 2697, and she playing basketball. Alien
That's
Resurrection
basketball,
is
baby.
dookie.
I don't know what the point of that whole scene was. I'll
look
give you
cool
that.
as hell?
I can't defend that at
Ask
all.
Joss Whedon.
I don't
Yeah.
care. But I'm just saying, I'm super looking forward to an excuse to run back through the entire Alien franchise. This Alien versus Predator.
Yeah.
That's like all of
Come
it. Like,
on,
I'm
yeah.
looking,
That's
I'm looking
the
for
really-
reasons to go back and revisit those.
You get Requiem, that's when you really get to the holy shit. What am I doing with my life-ness
Yes.
of Alien?
I
So
re-
for
I
this new
rewatched
Alien
the
movie,
motherfuckers-
do you watch the Alien versus Predator movies, or do you leave
Yeah.
those out?
I rewatched them before
Yeah,
Prey.
I
I
am.
will not rewatch them before Romulus.
Yeah, you don't
I
need
did.
to.
I didn't.
about
I'm going to.
posting them
I'm
and
going
then
to.
maybe skipping them. I like the first Alien versus Predator enough.
because
That
it's
shit was fun.
But the second one is rough.
trash. Yeah.
It's rough.
Yeah.
There's no basketball there.
There's no basket.
Final thoughts.
Yes,
Uh,
I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Yeah. Why is there no squeezable Nutella? You've got
I think
squeezable peanut butter, squeezable ketchup, squeezable relish, but they've never made squeezable Nutella.
What?
That's my final thought. What are we doing? We got
All right,
squeezable
Jared.
marshmallow fluff. Anyway,
I don't know. We're gonna. It's not in stone, but the next episode, just like this one, it just might be a Mad Max franchise discussion. Because I think we're cooking Furiosa weekend in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
Drop a comment, hit us up, let us know what you think about the Planet of the Apes franchise, Kingdom, spoilers, what you thought about the movie, all that good shit. I'll be back. I'll put a wrap on the episode. It's Rec League Podcast. Hey yo, thumbs up because I stunt, man. You a fall guy. It's Randy motherfucking Little. You a small fry. Moving through the flow, kinda sorta like a orca. With the verbal, I am dominant. Every vowel and consonant. Catch up like a condiment, the proof is in the confidence. Metaphors are homonyms. Bitch, I got a lot of them. Y'all just want to check a box. I will disrespect the box. Coming off the top, gotta get to 16. I am not a car guy, but I keep the whip clean. New England teams, fuck them. I hate them. But I am always about my green, just like I'm Jason Tatum. And chill till the next episode.